Oh, hello everybody. This new artist that I'm going to be introducing isn't exactly new. You may recall him as a different name or a different persona, but he's completely reintroducing himself as something brand new and fresh. This is Tanya, and if you haven't had a chance to check out his album, Junkie Pop, then I highly recommend it. Before we go into the interview, here is a sample of his album, the song Free Ride. Definitely check it out.
The road was lovely while we traveled down. We fucked around, we made a loud sound. The map was ugly as it got us there. I needed some direction, so I just didn't care. My passenger side bad attitude, I bet you miss it, I bet you miss it. So sayonara to my ass's bicycle and bill for two. Now you can kiss it, now you can kiss it. I'm sick and tired of your free ride. Let's say goodbye, say goodbye. That's right, I'm sick and tired. Let's cut our ties, let's say goodbye. I'm sick and tired of your free ride. Let's say goodbye, say goodbye. That's right, I'm sick and tired. Let's cut our ties, let's say goodbye. It was a very skidded stretching up a mountain, always snowing. We were soldiers in the storm, whichever way the wind was blowing. Whether wearing at the frame, not getting far, this ride was slow. And now it's time I take the wheel out of control. I gotta go, I'm sick and tired of your free ride. Let's say goodbye, say goodbye. That's right, I'm sick and tired. Let's cut our ties, let's say goodbye. I'm sick and tired of your free ride. Let's say goodbye, say goodbye. That's right, I'm sick and tired. Let's cut our ties, let's say goodbye. Don't point the finger, don't start a fight. Just say goodbye, just say goodbye. Don't play that card, don't patronize. Just say goodbye, just say goodbye. And no more endless hours fighting on the line. That's right.
And welcome to the Mike Media Show. Today we have on a brand new, fresh artist from looks like the Massachusetts area. I see why a lot of talk show hosts put their hand on their face, because if not, their face will get chroma keyed out like this. I see that that's exactly why that happens. So we have Mr. Tanya, Mr. Pocket Tanya. Who are you?
Mr.
What do
Tanya.
you do?
I'm Mr. Tanya. This is so cool. There's so many different colors going on.
I know. I'm like a I'm a chroma nightmare.
I love it.
Technical dream.
Hi, Mr. Media.
Yes.
Wait, do I have to watch my language?
No, not. Well, I typically do, but you don't have to.
Can you smell pot on screen? Hashtag Junkie Pop.
What is Junkie Pop?
Oh, a lot of people haven't asked me this question. I've been waiting. So, do you want the long or the short version?
I want the most interesting version.
Okay, so Junkie Pop is the name of my EP, available on iTunes now. And I guess you'd think hearing it, it's like supposed to describe maybe like a genre of music, but that's not the idea. To me, it's like a lifestyle, right? So when I started performing and like recording my own music 7 or 8 years ago, 2000, 5, 6, and then I started performing 2007, and I guess it was then I looked at it as my style of pop music, or fucked up. A junkie is like a term to describe like a drug addict or something trashy that's like a junky looking piece of furniture. So it's like I'm not so well behaved and polished. I'm gritty, and I still at the same time love pop music, and I love structured like pop songs. So
What are you saying, pop music or pot music?
pop music about pot, so pot.
Well, it's
But
becoming.
yeah, to me, it's like a way of life. And right, like I'm being crazy now and hashtagging it everywhere, so it's just like junkie pop.
But it's funny that the album is called Junkie Pop because when I first heard the title, and by the way, the album is fantastic. If you guys haven't downloaded it from iTunes, gotta check it out. The crazy thing is, I've heard that
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, yes. There's a lot of correlation. I thought that there was a correlation between that and the massive heroin usage these days, like because you see people like Philip Seymour Hoffman, Amy Winehouse, and I was like, oh, Junkie Pop, is that a social commentary by any means, or is this like?
That's awesome you say that, because I think I wanted to say that too, but I don't know, I just strayed from it because I felt like I didn't want to get so personal. But yeah, there's a loose metaphor tied in there, because I'm from a small town called Gloucester in Massachusetts, and there is an alarming usage of heroin and pills, and there's not so much a way out. There's the methadone clinic. There's Suboxone, which is another pill, which is like a substitute for heroin. It satisfies your craving. It's not really solving the problem. And I do come from a family with drugs, and I have a lot of friends who have used drugs, overdosed, died or not died. But the point is, there is that kind of hidden connotation of, and the intros is Diet Coke and Tramadol. If you pay attention to the lyrics in the intro of Junkie Pop, Tramadol is a non-narcotic, but still like it's an opioid, or I don't know the word but it's like an opiate. It's like a pill, but it doesn't have the effects of, say, Vicodin, OxyContin, or whatever. And that's a whole different conversation. But and then of course Diet Coke, soda pop, Junkie Pop, Tramadol, but the point is, yeah, I guess I did want to kind of touch on those subjects, and I have some other songs which are there's deeper messages and meanings involving their topic, which is heroin use and addicts in general and addictive personalities. So.
And if you think of that, it's an extremely deep concept for pop music, and then also you throw into that for someone. If you haven't heard any of this music, it's like all independently made, but it does not sound independently made. It doesn't sound like something that was just made in the backyard. It actually sounds like it was well produced by like a group of producers and musicians, and that's something that this guy can pride himself on, is that his stuff sounds radio friendly, and it's. Yeah, it's amazing.
I think that's what I wanted to do too. It's like I'm gritty, so like the performances are always going to be like a little trashy. But to me, I grew up listening to a lot of what was on the radio. But then as I got older, I was introduced to the punk scene and indie music and all, like progressive rock and this and that, and I was exposed to like all these other styles of performances and a lot of music you just never hear. So it's like, well, I knew with this album I wanted it to be radio friendly and I wanted it to sound catchy, because right now I feel like we're in this like generation or just like this time and age with technology. Everyone's so like the iPhone, blah blah blah. Dance music is huge right now. I mean, this isn't like an overproduced dance CD by any means, but it is like catchy radio friendly pop, and that's also kind of like what everybody knows right now is pop culture. Like I can't even try to. I mean, I have a couple, underground independently releasing album kind of artist friends who nobody knows and nobody cares to know when I try to like promote them. So it's like, okay, I need to make something catchy and it needs to sound. And it was produced by me and two other sick producer individuals, and I took a lot of time with it. I did. I like literally spent more money than I needed to in the studio because I wanted to fool people. But I'm pretty trashy.
It sounds like you got your money's worth.
I hope so.
Would you say that since you are making pop music, and pop music seems to be the emphasis of a lot of what you do you also feel that in the world of pop music it's kind of falling apart, like mainstream pop music? Or do you feel like it's still just as strong as it ever has been?
Oh, it's still strong. Pop music is always going to be strong. It's like how original are some of the is the product you're seeing, right? Because, okay, I love a lot of pop music that I know is overproduced and I know is a thought-out process. Like, there's truly, like organic moments where you write music, even if it is kind of like bubblegum or commercialized, or it's, but there's, like, moments where it all works, and then there's, like, okay, we're going to write this song, and it's going to be about drinking in the club, and it's going to be about blah, and it's like, which, don't get me wrong, I'm really, with this album, I wanted to make something catchy because I want to be a writer. I would love to get some writing gigs out of this. So I made it catchy. And because that's where the money is, right? So I'm okay with that world. But it would be nice to see a lot more artists, which you do on the internet, but not so much TV and radio, but that they had quite a deal to do with the production and writing of those songs. But think of Disney. It's like, I'm not trying to diss anyone, but Disney has made so many of these pop star artists we know, and Disney is just there to like do its Disney thing,
like a machine.
Completely. And it's like, okay, well, I've taken a lot of inspiration from some of those little products spit out of that machine, and both on the composing, producing, and performing side of things. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared of what people even think is and isn't pop music.
Do you think that
makes sense?
Do you think things are moving more towards independent then? Because I was wondering if things are becoming extremely oversaturated. Do you feel like it's that way, or do you think it's more liberating for an artist?
Well, I made this album with all independent artists, and we all sound like, in the production of it, and the music sounds like, oh God, who are these people, right? So, I mean, I'm trying to catch the ears and eyes of some bigwigs, I guess, but really, no, I'm trying to catch the ears and eyes of the masses, or like people. So if I can get enough people to understand me and my music and like the message, however they want to interpret, whether it's like, oh, he's a funny guy or he's too serious or whatever. If you like the music should speak for itself. Performing is a whole different story, but I think that when money gets involved, there's like chances you can have that you can't have as an independent artist. And what do? Are we supposed to compromise everything, or do we find a common ground? And I guess I'm just slowly trying to find the right people who kind of have had corporate connections, right? So they know what you should do and shouldn't do, and I'm trying to apply that to myself as an independent artist so that I can fucking get everybody's attention without needing anybody's money. And it's really tough, but I'm going to do what I can do.
All right. to close it all off, everyone needs to check out this album. But to close it all off, what's your favorite track and why?
On the album, my
Yes.
favorite track is Junkie Pop because I wrote the chorus 7 years ago, and it was supposed to be used with like almost the same arrangement, and it was supposed to be used for a song that I had written music for, but my van got robbed in 2010. And when I made the beat in the studio with Ren Babson, who co-produced and wrote the track with me, I was like, he's like, all right, what are we gonna do? We were gonna use it for someone else, and I was like, no. And I was like, Junkie Pop is back. It's like, this is the track. I'm gonna finally write the song. So I, in that one day, just had that song. And it was something that's been working in me for 7 years, so Junkie Pop is the best.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanya.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, call me Pocket.
Thank you, Pocket. Signing
Thank you.
out. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Another sample from his album. Here's the title track, Junkie Pop. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Become a fan. There's Audrey. Say hello. Become a fan on Facebook. And check out next week. If you like this one, I guarantee the next one will be better. All right. Well, see you later.
The last generation to preserve what is real, what's been left drying up out in the field. Predecessor persuasion, I must do what I feel comes naturally and fuck mass appeal. I got a feeling burning up and itching inside me. Buried alive is a dragon and it's saying come ride me. So get on, and get on. Never serving a lethal dose, but my shit is so strong. So get on, and get on. Just hop on it like an addict, ride it till your mind is gone. I'm singing now, this shit'll never stop. I got that junkie pop. I'm singing now, this shit'll never stop. I got that junkie pop. Make sure they don't abuse it. If they're in on the deal, some cats are swerving to learn how to steal. It's all in how you use it. If you're serving the meal, get them hooked on it, you're turning the wheel. I've got a feeling burning up and itching inside me. Shifts as it whispers, I'm listening and now that it got me. So get on, and get on. Never serving a lethal dose, but my shit is so strong. So get on, and get on. Just hop on it like an addict, ride it till your mind is gone. I'm singing this shit'll never stop. I got that junkie pop. I'm singing this shit'll never stop. I got that junkie pop. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. I need to get high just to get by. Just another hit piece. I may have another sir. I promise I won't overdose. Ooh, I got to have it tomorrow. Ooh, I got to have it tomorrow. So get on.